This is Linda with LLB Vintage and Pretties, and I haven't seen you guys in a while, as you probably know. But I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself before we go into what my new acquisitions are. I love long strolls through a thrift store, picking up items that I think will sell, and least not, but last not, paying for them. Silly, huh? Is not a dating site, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to do a spoof on that. But so anyway, all is well here. Husband still has dementia; it never goes away. Al is still a bad cat, and we lost 2 dogs and a cat over the summer. I'm very heartbroken over losing my babies because my dogs are my babies and so are my cats. But it's sad, and we miss them a great deal. So we lost Jambi, who was an Italian greyhound. We lost Athena, who we called Tina, and we lost our 21-year-old cat. That's a long time for a cat to live. And his name was Tuxedo, or Tux, as we call him. Beautiful cat, black and white, big troublemaker. They have attitudes, those tuxedo kitties. Yeah, kitties are bad in general. They like to bring in things. Al likes to bring in things. The other day he brought in a 12-inch lizard, and he brought in a bird, and he brought in 2 bunnies. One decided to get underneath our cabinets, our base cabinets, and die in there. That was gross and disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. So anyway, today I have for you some Asian art. Some of it is Buddha, some of it is Chinese, some of it is Japanese. But all in all, Oriental art is just gorgeous. And I believe I have one piece from Germany here to show you. So sit back, take a chill, get a drink. Taz is still with me, so I'm going to get my drink and get started. Sorry to bounce you guys around. I don't know how to do this very well, obviously, as everybody can tell. I'm not very good with a camera. So let's talk about the first thing that I have. And a couple of the things that I have for you today are from England. And these are Saddler teapots. James Saddler, who had designed these, had them painted, or had put transferware on them. Now these are transferware pots. They are not hand painted. But nonetheless, a very pretty teapot. As you can see, the top of the spout is gold gilded. The bottom of the teapot is gold gilded. And around the handle and the top is gold gilded. Now, most of the time when you find these, you will find that the gold gilding is off these pieces. And that's because they get moved around a lot, or they are used and they get rubbed off, like, say, in this area. But I think that this piece was just for decoration, which is a really good idea, because I cannot see any tea staining in this. So I do not believe that this piece has ever been used. If we go back to the front, you can see the Saddler tag on it. Not all the Saddler tags are done in blue. Can't see that very well. How's that? That's back into focus, huh? So anyway, that's one way you can tell that it's a James Saddler. Now on the bottom, you can also see his initials. And this is done in gold, which is really nice. You don't see that too often. But this is an absolutely gorgeous piece by James Saddler. And I will put the top back on it so you can see it in its entirety again. As soon as I figure out how to do it. It's so graceful. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful piece. This is another piece by James Saddler, and it is the Royal Albert Hall in England. On the bottom, you can see how this one is done differently, with it done with more of a stamp type thing, and it says James Saddler on it. Both these teapots I just showed you are very well sought out. If you notice the handle on the teapot, it is absolutely gorgeous. It is not something that you see on new teapots. And the top of the pot, did it go too far? The top of the pot is done in gold gilding with a little gold button on top. Both sides are the same. And the spout itself is gold gilding as well. It is on the sides of the spout, the top of the spout, and on the other side. Absolutely stunning colors on this piece. Again, this is transferware. It is not a hand-painted item, but beautiful nonetheless. The next thing I have for you might kind of blow your mind a little bit. This little teapot, this little teeny tiny guy, is and I might pronounce this wrong, is a little Chinese familiar teapot. And these little guys run from the 1800s to the early 1900s, I believe. I could very well be wrong. I wouldn't doubt it. This is a hand-painted piece, absolutely in perfect condition. You can see the flowers on the front. What I like about this teapot is that you can feel all the raised portions of it. That's why I'm running my thumb against it. The top of the handle on the teapot is very nicely done as well. I keep forgetting to lift things up a little bit higher so y'all can see it. This was an awesome find in a little thrift store that just opened here in Arizona City. Now, mind you, Arizona people, well, let me rephrase that. There are only 5,000 people in Arizona City in the summer, 10,000 people in the winter. So we get a lot of visitors, which is nice. I'm going to set this down for a second. I'm going to show you the top. This is fine china. Look at that top. See, like it has a little hook in it. I don't want to hold this a whole lot. And the reason being, these sell for about $500. And I found it for $30, which is really excellent, I will tell you that. On the bottom of the pot, it has the Chinese writing. Wish I could read it, but I can't. So that's done in very pretty reds, as always with the Chinese. So this pot is teal with pinks to reds, and mostly on Chinese pieces, they are, I believe, are done with lotus flowers, but I might be confusing that with Japanese. But just absolutely a gorgeous piece. The next thing I have for you, yikes, is a stunning blue tray with gold. This, I believe, is transferware, and it has gold hand painted around the leaves and the flower. Maybe not real sure about that, but it's still an absolutely gorgeous piece. You can see the gold gilding around the top of it, around the handles, and around the bottom. And that was hand painted in. On the back of the plate, it tells you where it's from. And this is, oh golly, I can't read it. I believe this was made in Germany. And again, it's not something that I could read to you because I can't read German either. So this is an absolutely stunning piece as well. This little tray does have a teeny tiny boo-boo on it. Or that's not what we really call them here in sales. We call them flea bites. Not in sales, in vintage. These are called little flea bites. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there it is. Little flea bites. This is a very expensive piece to purchase, but because it does have a flea bite on it, I would not sell it for full price. And the other little thing that goes along with it is this beautiful trinket box. So you would just put your jewelry in there. Seems to have a little smudge mark in it. So you would put your jewelry in this at night before you go to sleep, or put it on your kitchen sink countertop. Again, this is applied with what I believe is gold painting around it. I could be wrong, of course. On the bottom, it is also marked. Let's see if I can get you up there. It is also marked who it is made by. This piece is in perfect condition. No chips, no cracks, no crazing. And I know you're going to read that backwards, right? So I think this would be really pretty sitting on this tray. Let me move it a little bit more. And you could have that on your dresser top. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous piece. The next thing I have for you is this Chinese doll. Excuse me, I believe she's Japanese. She has a ceramic head. She is hand painted. Maybe. Nope, she is not hand painted. She does not have any boy, I can't speak today. She does not have any chips or cracks to her. She's in perfect condition. None of her clothes are ripped or have holes in them. Yeah, she's a Japanese. And you can tell that by this piece right here, the way that the bow is done on her stomach. She has little blue earrings, which are right here. Interesting eyebrows, I think. Very nicely done eyes, nose, and mouth. And her head is ceramic, along with her little hands. I think that she might have a chip here on her thumb because it doesn't look the same as the other. So I guess I shouldn't say I think she's in perfect condition because she may not be. And her little feet are also done in the blue and the white. She has no markings, so I don't know where she came from. Very pretty little piece. And she looks like she has little drawers that come out. And she has little underwear underneath her shirt, which I find very interesting that much detail has been done to her. And I think that you cannot get up too much further than this on the doll. She is soft in the body. Soft on the arms, soft on the legs. The legs do somewhat move because they sewed across this area so she would be able to sit down. You could stand her up if you had a doll stand. All the pieces I'm showing you today will be on my eBay site. I believe all of them are listed right now. So this would be a fun little gift for a little girl. I know when I was a girl, I'm still a girl. When I was a young girl, I enjoyed this type of thing. I had a Japanese doll. I don't know whatever happened to her. I think I tried to redecorate her or put new clothes on her, and that didn't work well. So anyway, this is a beautiful Japanese ceramic and soft body doll. I haven't found too many of these. So this is a round the world trip today. This is a jewelry box. I believe it's from 1950. And the only reason that I might perhaps know that is because I had one when I was a child as well. Very beautiful piece. This is done in black and red lacquer. And you can see the abalone inlays on this, in the building, on the hills, down in here. What look like paths to me, but I could be wrong. And it has Mount Fuji. And it looks like a little boat here. So I believe that this jewelry box is probably 60 years old. I believe that it was made in the 50s. Oops. Guess I just gave away my age. It does have missing paint. It is a lacquer. And that's going to happen with lacquer and with as old as this piece is. On the inside, let's put these little pots back on. On the inside is a mirror surrounded by blue velvet. The top box or lift in this jewelry box is also done. I'm going to put that lid down. I hope we don't get too much of a reflection. Is done in a red lacquer as well. Might not be able to see that. It's a little bit difficult. With pretty little orange tassels. That's the one thing I noticed about Japanese art, is that they do have a lot of tassels that they use on things. Down here, where the keyhole is, used to have a key to it, and it also had an orange tassel. That's been long gone, I'm sure. Inside, we have a wonderful jewelry box that does work. And of course, you know it's not going to work when I'm showing it to you. So let me see if I can get it to go. I had a customer tell me what the name of this song was, and I don't remember it right offhand. And then over the top of the jewelry box, or excuse me, the music box, it has this piece that fits on. And it has a little compartment here and a big compartment here that you can put your things in. I don't know how much you can see. Oh, it's going to make noise when I tilt it over. But I think you guys are used to that by now with my shakes. And you can see that it is made in Japan. And you can also see the black lacquer coming off of this. But this can be taken to an auto parts store. Maybe not a store, but one that you can get your car repainted at. And they might possibly be able to match the colors in the box. And maybe refinish it just a little bit more for you so it goes back to an original piece. I'm going to turn it sideways. Maybe we can see it a little bit better. Yeah, there it goes. You can see the beautiful white and red cherry tree, which the Japanese are notable for, are their cherry trees. Beautiful trees in this piece. Okay. Up next, I found this. I think this is a fascinating piece. It is a travel Buddha. So if you're traveling, you can take your Buddha with you for prayers. I do not know a whole lot about this. I don't know who the figures are in it, but I think it's very pretty. And I believe that it is done in resin. And these are all hand-carved pieces inside. You can feel the raised portion of them, so they are a 3D. And in a lot of the figures at the bottom, you can see flowers and ornate designs. This one is quite ornate. One of them might be a water. This might be a water goddess, but don't quote me on that because I'm probably wrong. Then this folds into 3 pieces, which I think is pretty cool. On the outside of this travel Buddha, you can see the decorations that were hand carved in. The screws are still in the hinges, which is a nice thing because I don't think you always see that. I think the more original on some of these things, the better they look and sell, obviously. So that's your 3-piece travel Buddha. Very pretty, again. As I said before, all these things are listed on my website, on my eBay site, if you wish to purchase. Now, in the back, I have a very lovely Japanese photo. And it really isn't a photo. What this is a material. And so they probably started with the back material and then hand sewed on the top pieces. And they did such a beautiful job, meaning the Chinese that put it together, or whoever, Japanese that it put it together, or whomever put it together, because you can't see any of the stitching. Now they could have glued it, but I don't believe so. So she's a pretty little girl, and she is carrying, now I could be wrong, she may not be a little girl, and she's carrying her baby, or babysitting, I don't know which. Has pretty little slippers on, split toe. Beautiful coloring in the material. A wonderful purple sash. And up around her chest, you can see the material here, done with greens and whites. She has a pretty face, done with brown eyebrows, black eyes, brown nose, and a red little mouth, and pink cheeks. Beautiful hair. I don't know how they did that, but it's absolutely gorgeous, with the wonderful ribbons in it as well. And she's holding a, I forget every time what that is. A whirligig? Maybe a whirligig. So anyway, the base or the matting around the picture is done in gold and blues. And then around the frame, it is also done in gold, and it looks like it is a red